everybody, it's Denise with Wonder Bar Crafts. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do part 3 of, the craft along with me, covering the journal. Sorry I did not get back and waited till Friday to get this done. I wanted to do it back on Monday, but my avocado dyeing took me a little longer than expected, plus the weather, and I know any of you guys that are experiencing this cold weather, snowy, and icy weather like this. Yeah, I get it. I haven't been able to get out of my house until today. I had over an inch thick worth of ice on my car. It took me, I had to run my car for about an hour to get it warmed up enough just to get it broke and chunked off the car. So anyone who's had an Etsy order with me since Thursday, that should have shipped out Thursday, it did get shipped out today. And I apologize. Normally I do try to get it out between 1 and 3 days. It did meet that cutoff. However, I normally try to ship very next morning, but unfortunately the weather has limited us out here. So anyway, with all that, I've kind of had a week like this. Yeah. But I'm still plugging along, and I have gotten on the other journal, I have gotten the covers glued down on them. There's the back of that one and the front of that. And this little one, what I did was I glued some file folder inside there and went ahead and covered the inside on that. I put elastic in here because I'm just going to make it one of those little notebooks that you can replace the paper in when it's all filled up. So, and it'll just have 2 little signatures on it. So this one's almost finished. I think it came out really cute. I mean, I love the fringe on it. I think it's just a cutie patootie. Don't you? Sorry, I get a little weird. I've been cooped up for like almost a week. What do you expect? So, but anyways, like I said, this one's almost done. So here is the cover that I have been working on for the craft along, and here is the book we're going to cover. So what I'm going to do is cover the back. I'm going to cover it with Mod Podge, and my edges, when they flip over, I use the Fabri-Tac. Only because, and you can use whatever, glue that you want to use on it. Personally, I've used Fabri-Tac before, and I don't like the way it stiffens the fabric too much. Mod Podge does stiffen it a little, but it is not as bad as the Fabri-Tac. So I want that actual stiffness and harden, around where we glue it over, and you'll see what I'm talking about when it's all dry. So I got to my Mod Podge out, and I always put some parchment over the top. It helps to keep it from getting any air in there, drying it out. So, and just a thick brush, and I'm going to do the spine first and kind of get it attached. That way when I pull it off to the side, I'll know to kind of where I need to stretch it a little bit. Okay. Now make sure that if you do this, that you get a good amount on there. You don't have to have it completely saturated. If you were just going to do a normal journal cover, it will soak through the fabric. I've got 2 layers on there, so I should be good. That's how I did it with the other one. And make sure you get in these grooves really good. Okay. And let's see. And remember, I marked the inside of this to try and help guide where I needed to lay it. So, alright. Now, let me it over and just, of course I could have done it the other way, I suppose, but alright, I gotta make sure I've got enough on this side to pull it over and attach it there. Okay. Alright. Now, make sure. Yep. Alright. So right now I'm just going to push down. I'm going to grab my bone folder. Find it. I got this little, it's a bookbinding kit. I got it on Amazon. It was actually one of the better ones to get. I think I don't want to quote you wrong, but I think I only paid like $35. But it comes with a lot of wax thread, like 4 spools of it, needles, 2 bone folders, a pokey tool, your awl, a thimble, a ruler, a paintbrush, and some spine binding tape, and a big bone folder. I really just wanted this, but when I was looking online at some of the prices of them, I was like, shoot, I just might as well get the kit. It was cheaper. So, what I'm going to do is kind of in those grooves, just to make sure that my glue adheres down in there, into those 1/4 inch creases. So, make sure it goes down in there. So. And that's what's great about this bone folder, because it's a long one. I like it. I like my shorter one too. That one I like to use on other things, like helping me fold paper and stuff. That's really good. But this one is great for this. Alright, I might need a little bit more in here, because it looks like it's not quite adhering here. In the Fabri-Tac, when you squeeze it out, sometimes it likes to go all over the place. I like how fast it dries, but I'm really not liking it for other things. I'm really liking my glitter glue. I bought some art. I got some cosmic shimmer glue. There's a lady here in Missouri through Etsy. She orders it, I guess, from overseas and gets it in, but it's such a small bottle. It is a really small bottle. I like it though, but the art, I found out the art glitter glue. Let me see. This is the Cosmic Shimmer. It's made in the United Kingdom, so it costs more to get it here, obviously. And I have yet to see anything larger than 60 milliliters. It's possible it's out there. I just haven't found it. So I got a bigger bottle of the art glitter glue, which is the same stuff. So, and I got it through Amazon. And I like it for all my paper projects. Much better. So long as you don't need a whole lot of it to cover. If I'm doing a bigger project, I use the Fabri-Tac. If it's just a small itty bitty and those little tiny areas you need to get around, that's perfect. So, alright. That should be on there, so. Yep. Alright. Let's do this front. And make sure you put enough on there, because it will start to dry and then you'll have to go over it again. So I try to be as liberal as, possible with it. Of course, if you're using a thinner fabric to cover your book, spread it as thin as possible, because like I said, it will saturate your fabric. It will dry, but your fabric is going to get extremely stiff. edges here. And as you can see, I put some parchment paper underneath to keep it from getting all over my mat and gumming it up. I've gone through, I don't know, in the last year, like 3 of these mats because I wasn't putting anything down, and it kind of drives me crazy when you go to wash it off and it doesn't come off. It kind of wigs me out a little bit because I'm so scared that it'll rub off, other stuff will rub off onto my project, so. Come back to that in a second and see how it is adhering. And get this side done. So, how's everybody doing? Good, I hope. Hope this cold weather isn't causing any harm to anyone. I know that they've had Chicago. I was talking to my dad this morning. He said, I had heard somewhere that Chicago's temperatures had been lower than ever recorded. That in like 200 years, I think, since they started to record the weather. And they said it's the coldest it's been. And normally they do get like a lot of wind and stuff because, you know, the lake comes off the big lake there. And I don't know. We get crazy weather here in Missouri. You know, it is the show me state. It's not called the show me state because of its weather, but when somebody says, oh, it's going to be sunshiny and 80 degrees, it's like, yeah, you better show me. Because I don't believe you. Because the weather does. It changes so quickly and rapidly here. I might need to pull this down just a smidgen because it looks like. Make sure I got enough to flip over the edges on here. And I'm trying not to mumble. I apologize if I am. It's not like I can redo this one because once it's glued, right? Alright. Yeah, and today I think I'm just going to do the cover and then possibly tomorrow or at least one day this weekend I'm going to start working on the spine insert and the signatures. I don't sew my signatures in until that's like one of the last things I do. I know some, and there's different methods to do it, and you can go online and look at, I mean, there's so many different ways to do this. But I prefer to do it because if I decide at the last minute I want to sew a paper or a page or an idea comes to me and I can't do it once it's sewn into the book, once the signature's sewn in. So, and the spine is put together, you're kind of limited. So I always do my signatures first. Then I know if it gets too thick, there's something I'm going to have to take out or readjust or whatever before I actually sew it. So, all right. That is glued on, and I'm going to give it about 10 minutes to dry. And of course, I'm not going to make you guys sit here and watch this thing dry. Probably never come back and watch my stuff again. I'm sure. So I'm going to switch off real quick, and I'm going to go clean my brush, grab a cup of coffee, and this should be dry, and we can tack the edges around, and I'll show you how I do that. Alright, hold on. Hey guys, I figured this got a couple more minutes to go, but I just kind of real quick want to show you guys a couple little hauls that I got from some live sales that I got, or live auctions. This one's from the lovely Jessica Rapp. She used to do live sales on YouTube, maybe once or twice a week. However, she has stopped, and she's just loading stuff on her Etsy. So I will leave her Etsy shop below. But this is, I got this whole thing. It was like a bundle, but I got it because of this. This is Irving's Works, and of course it's gutted. It's gutted. I just wanted the covers, but it's like a paper fabric, and look at how old that is. I mean, and you might be thinking, oh my God, what is she going to do with that old ripped up book? Well, I'm going to take the spine off, and I'll probably collage a couple tags with this, and then I'll maybe use some canvas or muslin to redo the spine or something along those lines, or find some fabric that's similar in color. But oh my gosh, this would make a beautiful vintage journal. And then buying book covers, sometimes you got to be careful, because there are ones that are out there that are extremely expensive, because they charge an arm and a leg to take the cover out. It's really not that difficult to do, but if you're kind of new, Cindy, if you're new to this, this might be a way to go. There are plenty of book covers that you can buy in bundles, that the books are, the pages have been gutted in on Etsy. So you could try that, or just do it yourself. You know what I mean? It's not that hard. You can use an X-Acto knife and just gut it. This one, she gave me one of the signatures in here. I think the end signature. Lady Chatterley's Lover. And then like an Italian book. And the spines are, you know, pretty brittle. I'll probably have to redo them. This one was an Analytical Mechanics for Engineers, 3rd edition. But probably a college book or something like that. But sometimes that's the way to go. I bought the bundle. I wouldn't normally buy a bundle because I do it myself, because I like to keep the pages and make tags and stuff with. But it was this particular book right here that I was looking for. So, and then this one I got from Debs Crafting Room, or Crafting Room, and I don't know where she got these humongo Ziploc bags. Man, I want some of these. I need some. But I do believe she is out of Canada. So, this was a little bundle packet, and she made like an altered paper clip, which I thought was really pretty. And just some, a little lacy, and some charms, and some buttons and stuff that I'll add to my collection. And this one I might put in one of those journals in there. And this, she wrapped it in a really nice paper napkin, which I like. I can use to collage, and just some butterfly fabric. And I thought this might be good for like a boho, like a natural, a nature boho type journal, because it's a real vibrant color. And let's get this one open. This one just had some coin rolls and a couple cards. I think is that canasta or something like that. Not canasta. I can't remember. Flicks. Some flashcards. Cash checks, which I have tons of. They're on my Etsy. Book pages, some Yahtzee paper, and a really cutie greeting card. And then just some kids' book inserts, the Hickory Dickory Dock, you know, some Mother Goose rhymes. But I really wanted this envelope. 7 cents. That's an older envelope. So I'm going to have to make something out of that. And then just some tea stain paper I think she included in here. More children's book stuff. Some old Firestone tires. Remember those kind of rims? Oh my goodness, those came from like the 50s. Yep, 1959. So anyway, and this is like a big magazine page, I think. Open it. But she was having a giveaway also on her, or during her live sale, and I guess her husband found these huge Wembley playing cards. And she pulled both jokers and gave them away, and I won this one. And I thought that would be cool, like for either on the inside or even as a cover for a journal. Like a little traveler's notebook, maybe type, just a, I don't think it's long, well, maybe it might, I don't know, I thought it was cute. But I'll link her, she also has an Etsy shop, so I'll link her shop below. I want to know where she gets these big old Ziploc bags, because I've never seen one that big before. At least they don't have them in our Walmart. And then today, when I was at Walmart, I picked up some really cute buttons. And they're buttons and charms and stuff to put. I thought these would go really cute in these journals. Like some buttons. I think one of the buttons in here is broken, but I can fix it with some glue. Yeah, this one's broken in here. I'll just put some Fabri-Tac on it and it'll glue it back together. But I thought this was cute. I think that would look pretty in there, or even on top of the journal cover, and then some paper flowers and stuff. And then the other one's like vintage. Like it's got one of those old vintage shoes and a cameo and stuff. And I thought that would look good in the other one. And then just some like pearls and that's kind of more like shabby chic stuff. But if it won't fit, I'll add them to my button collection. That's for sure. I don't know about that key though. It's kind of plasticky. I like my keys. They're metal charm keys. So anyway, so put those off to the side. I think we are ready to move on. Oh yeah. Look at that. Yep. Okay. So now we're ready to glue the sides over. And I hope that that's going to be enough on that side. But we will certainly find out, won't we? Alright, so typically what I do is I snip the corners. And you could fold it all over like this and then down over. But it makes it really thick in that one little corner. So I snip them, fold it in. It's kind of like gift wrapping, you know? Alright. And let's see, I got some binder clips. And what I do is I'll do the corners first, and then I let them dry. And then I do the ends, and then I do the long way last. So, alright, Fabri-Tac, come on out. Hopefully it won't give us a goopy bubble. I think half of my Fabri-Tac ends up on paper towels in the trash. Because when it gets that bubble, it wants to push it all the way up. And, alright, come on. It's one thing I don't like about Fabri-Tac. I had to pull my sleeves back, as you can see, because I will end up with it all over my hands, all over my clothes. There we go. Okay. And you don't have to use, you know, if you're going to cover your journal with paper, you shouldn't need to use a binder clip for it. I mean, you certainly can till it dries, but with fabric, you know, it takes a little bit longer, it seemed like, so. More ice falling off the house. The dogs think somebody's here. So, alright. Hopefully this is going to be enough on this edge. I'm pretty sure it will be. Oh yeah. And the reason why I don't use Mod Podge around the edges, when this dries, it's real stiff, and it becomes really hard. So it stays better, I think. With the Mod Podge, I don't mind it so much having the pliability on the actual cover and on the spine, but when you wrap it around, you want to make sure that you have that stability so that the book doesn't come apart. Because if it comes apart here, it's going to come apart everywhere else eventually. So this, I know, will hold it in place for a long time. Okay. Come on now. I took my fingernail polish off because I knew playing with this Fabri-Tac, I'd end up with, because there's acetone in it, it'll take your fingernail polish off. And I don't want it all over my journal cover, so. Okay, let me clean this tip off real quick. My those dry. That's probably going to take a few minutes, so let me come on back. Okay, guys, I think this might be dry enough, yeah, to do this side. So, and I went ahead and glued that little flower together and set it over there and let it dry. So, what's everybody up to this weekend? Just gonna enjoy the time off, or do you guys gotta work, or what you guys got going on? Me, seems like every time I want to do something, something else comes up, so I don't know yet. I want to try to finish, or at least start doing the signatures for this, or for all of them actually. That little notebook one will be fairly easy to do. Make sure my little fringe isn't stuck over there. Oop. Alright, Denise. Don't go crazy. End up with a lap full of stuff. Is, because of the weather, as wet as it is, it's kind of giving me some fits with trying to pinch anything or open anything up. But I notice that the more I move, the better it feels, so we're just going to keep plugging along, aren't we? Okay. Now you don't have to binder clip all the way across. I'm not going to. I just want to, some of the areas, make sure that they're going to stay tacked down. And this side should be dry. It is. Man, I will end up peeling glue off for days after using Fabri-Tac. It's like a second skin. It's kind of gross. You know. And everything seems to want to stick to your fingers after you have it on there. Sure my little threads don't get stuck to it, because then it's just gonna be a booger to get it off later. Yeah, so the other day I was telling you guys, you know, about I was watching those recommended videos on those scammers. Now they're showing up all over the place just because I watched like 1 or 2 videos. All of them showing up on my recommended list. I'm like, how do I delete that? I think you can, there's some way that you can go in and delete your browsing history on YouTube, I think. I'm not sure. I'll get my son to do it. He's pretty savvy. Of course, I think all these kids are. I mean, I learned a lot of stuff, computer stuff, when I was in the military, because, you know, everything went computerized and, you know, but I don't know it all. That's for sure. Alright, so we're going to now we're going to have to sit and let this dry, probably 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we'll be back and finish it up. Okay, let's see if this is dry, and then we can finish this up. Yay! Yep. Good there. Alrighty. So I'm going to go ahead and start from the middle and kind of work outward. Just my thing. It doesn't have to be done this way. Just my kind of thing. Oh, goodness. So, I don't know if any of you have ever driven on a roundabout. I'm sure my European subbies understand what I'm talking about, but if your town or state or city or whatever doesn't have roundabouts, probably don't understand. But we, here in Missouri, have a few roundabouts that they have put in to help some of the areas, you know, around busy areas. People don't understand that, you know, you have a yield sign if you're not on the roundabout already, and you have to try to merge your way in between traffic, but people on the roundabout don't yield to you. We almost had somebody slam into us today. He didn't even stop. He just whoop right out there and almost took the front end of my car off. I was like, oh, that would not have been good at all. Yeah, 17-degree weather, sitting out there in an accident. No. Waiting for all that. Thanks, but no thank you. Alright. This is looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. Well, I do say so myself. Hopefully you agree with me. Oh, goodness. I'm in a silly mood today. I don't know why. I don't know. It's probably, what do they call that when you get stuck in cabin fever? From being stuck in the house all week because of the weather. And a lot of times, you know, I'm home anyway, and I really don't go out a lot. You know, it's not like I go out every day, but, you know, when you got things to do or you want to go someplace, you don't want to have those kind of limitations. You just want to be able to get in the car and go. And, yeah, not able to do that last few days. And I haven't decided. I might put book corners on them. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. All right. Yeah, so that was pretty exciting today. I was like, ah. My son. And they, of course, he would have hit the passenger side first. And my son's like, whoa, Mom. I'm like, not whoa, Mom. Whoa to the dude in the other car. Oh, goodness. I just wish if they were going to change or put something new like that in, that they would, you know, let you know in the newspaper the guidelines, or, you know, hey, when you're out here on this road and, you know, we've put in the new traffic circle, you know, these are the rules. This is what to expect. This is what you should do, you know. I mean, I get not everybody reads the paper, but, you know. Oh, my little monkey. My little uber duber. He must be done eating. He's come to get my little foot warmer. Come to keep my feet warm, I guess. I want to move that one over just a little bit. There we go. Oh. Okay. So then, once that's dry, it'll be all ready for. At this point, once it's dry, you can do one of two things. You can put your inside paper, if you're going to line the inside with any paper, you can do that. I like to do that last because typically I will do a tip-in, which I will show you what I mean by that. Most of you who do journals understand what I'm talking about, but for any of you that are new to it or don't understand it, or you know, or looking for a different method, typically when you tip in, you put your signature, you sew your signatures to your beef up spine is what I call it, and then you glue it to your spine, and then you put your paper here and you tip it, so you glue to the edge of the first and last page of your signatures, so that it kind of like when you open a normal book, the paper is tipped in, so you'll have like an extra sheet in there. And there's a lot of different ways to do that, or different methods that people do to do it. Some people just cover that and then put their spine in, and that looks nice too. Personally, I just like to tip it in. It's just my thing. So that's pretty much it. Once this is dry, I'll just take the clips off of it, and then it'll be ready for to start putting some signatures together and doing some decorating on those and stuff like that. So if not tomorrow, hopefully Sunday. I'd like to do that sometime this weekend. So until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.